welcome to another episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and try to figure out what movies inspired it. But today on the show, it is one of our monthly trailer roundups, where Jason Harris from Awesome Movie Year joins me to talk about a bunch of movies and kind of apply our whole puzzle pieces format just to the trailers, see if we can kind of guess what some of these movies might have been inspired by just by watching the trailers. And then we'll see, maybe we'll cover some of these with full episodes in the next month or two. But before we get to it, we actually have a few things to get to. First of all, it is the beginning of a brand new year of piecing it together. We have now done 7 years of this podcast. We're kicking off year 8. And as I always do with every year of the podcast since I started, you just heard a new theme. I always change up the theme because I am, of course, a music composer first, podcaster second, although nowadays it doesn't really seem like that, but it kind of is the case. But anyway, yeah, new music theme. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, we'll be using that for the next year. And every year we switch it out. And it's always a fun way to keep the show fresh as we continue on into year 8 of piecing it together. Thank you so much, everybody who's out there listening and has been enjoying the show. It's so great to have you all out there and continuing this crazy journey with me. But aside from that, I also have to do some listener puzzle pieces. I always love when people send in puzzle pieces for some of the movies that we cover on the show. And some months I have like 1 or 2. Some months I have a few more. This month I got a lot. So yeah, that's why I wanted to kind of just jump right in. I'll get all my plug type things in at the end of the show. I wanted to get right into listener puzzle pieces right now because we got a lot to get through. So let's see what we have. So first of all, for Flight Risk, we have a couple of different things here. Okay, so for Flight Risk, Kevin King called it a spinoff of Tropic Thunder, which I loved that. I could definitely see a setup and especially a character as ridiculous as Mark Wahlberg's character being something that could have been either one of the fake films within the film or something like that from Tropic Thunder. I think that's great. Demetrius Sanders said Turbulence and Red Eye. And Red Eye is one that I was thinking about. I didn't end up bringing it up, but Turbulence, I forgot all about that movie, and that is definitely a good one to include here. So Turbulence, definitely a good pick. Red Eye as well. Moving on to Heart Eyes, which we did a live show on. Darlene Dalmaceda, who was at the show actually, told me afterwards that she was thinking of Strangers on a Train because of the carousel sequence, which is absolutely great. Also, she said putting the blonde in danger and a director cameo from Josh Rubin, all very, very Hitchcocky things. So yeah, definitely some Strangers on a Train in there, I think. Also from Heart Eyes, Eric Langberg mentioned another movie with a see-through hole through a person is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. And it even happens in the back of a van, which that is quite the coincidence there. I think we actually had a thread going of other movies where holes go through people. I thought of Death Becomes Her. That would be a good one to include. But yeah, movies where you see through the person when a hole gets punched through their body or head or face or what have you, you know. So yeah, fun one there. Moving on to Captain America Brave New World, which is another one we did a live show on this past month. Ali, the Gran Finali, as we were heading out, she mentioned Law Abiding Citizen and Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman definitely is a really good fit here, especially for all of the politics and the double crossing and all that stuff that is like mixed into the superhero genre here. Law Abiding Citizen, I've surprisingly have never seen, and I feel like I would probably enjoy it. I should watch that one of these days, but good one there. Also for Captain America Brave New World, I started to write it down, and at some point I had to kind of just give up. I'll just mention Triple X and Doctor Who, but it was like dozens of people commented on my TikTok, which never ever happens. My TikTok is like an afterthought. I usually post all my Instagram videos on there just as a duplicate, but they got some likes, and that's that. But for whatever reason, the video clip of the portion of the episode where we're talking about a new character taking over the mantle of like the main title character in the series. So not an actor changing, like a new Batman or any of that kind of stuff. We're talking about a character in the movie is a different character being the guy, And so Sam Wilson being the new Captain America, as played by Anthony Mackie, is an example of that. And so somebody mentioned Triple X, where Ice Cube's character, I can't remember what he was named, but he had a different name. He wasn't just the same person as Vin Diesel. He was a different person becoming Triple X. Someone else mentioned Doctor Who, which I've never actually watched Doctor Who. Some other people were saying that actually doesn't fit, so I don't know, it might fit. But there were all these other examples that people were throwing in on that thread, and it's really fun to see so many people throwing in some puzzle pieces. So thank you to everybody over there. Moving on to Enora, we had Nace DeSanders, who said somebody has to say Cinderella, and it was definitely one that was in my back pocket. I didn't get to it, but I love that, and it's definitely a worthwhile piece to include on the Enora episode. And Stephen Hughes said Three Stooges and Arrested Development for the slapstick of the middle section, which that is something as I guess this episode will be out right after the Oscars, so we'll see how Enora does at the Oscars, but it is so weird, the mix of tones, and that middle section definitely has a very slapsticky kind of comedy to it. And so Three Stooges, Arrested Development, you can go as wacky as you want. And I think we got some wacky puzzle pieces on the episode to talk about that section, but those fit in there quite well also. And then moving on to our last movie of the month was The Brutalist, and Josie DeMarco also wrote in for that one with The Devil's Advocate, which I think is definitely a great one for the kind of interplay between these two main characters, and how the one person just has ulterior motives and, not quite sure where it's going, but it's probably bad. I think there's a lot of good stuff there. And then Tucker, the Man in His Dream, which is a Coppola film that I didn't even know about. It's just, there's so many films from him that I have not seen, and that one I hadn't even heard of. But I was reading the synopsis, and it just sounds like a perfect puzzle piece. So really good fit there. And then one other one that Josie DeMarco said, An American Tale, which I just have no notes on. That's perfect for a movie as dark and big and epic as The Brutalist. I love it. So that is our listener puzzle pieces for the month of February. Lots of great ones. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. As always, if you listen to an episode of Piecing It Together this month and you hear something and you think, what I think another good puzzle piece would be, send it in. I would love to hear it, first of all. I love hearing from listeners, but then I will read it on the next trailers episode. So with that said, let's get into our new month of trailers and talk about March. Jason Harris is back with us for another month of trailers. How's it going, Jason?
Dave, I'm doing well. I have to say, I'm very optimistic about this month's batch of trailers, so I'm feeling good. I mean, normally we get on and I feel a little depressed, but there's a lot of good stuff, it looks like, in March.
That is very, very exciting. Well, before we get to March, let's take a quick look back at February and see what we had talked about last month, and see if we actually got to any of these movies. Let's bring you right back down to the ground here with Kinda Pregnant. Did you watch that?
So glad I didn't, Dave. Kinda Pregnant kinda came and went. It didn't seem like it made any noise at all.
No, it didn't. But it's a streaming movie, so it's out there forever.
Do you know anyone who's watched it?
No, not a single person. So
there we go.
Yeah. Next up is Love Hurts, which I've heard mixed things on. It didn't do very well, that's for sure.
It seems like you're saying mixed things. It seems like everybody's on it, and I want to still watch it, but that seems like something we can watch at home.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Armand was up next, which looked pretty good. I did not see it, and this is one of those movies where we see it on the trailer lineup, and then I don't even know if it comes out, but...
Yeah. I don't know if it came out. Also, I'm not thrilled it did not feature Armand Desante.
I would have been first on my list if it did. Yeah. Next up, Paddington in Peru, which we were both down on, even though everybody loves Paddington. And strangely, I don't know if I just was busy or what, but I didn't even see any reviews on this. Did you?
Yeah, people like it. It's supposed to be good.
Okay.
But one I saw said it wasn't as good, but then everyone said it was good. And yeah, I didn't get to go. I was planning on it, but I'll definitely watch this one. So
right on.
I can't wait for Paddington and Bridget Jones to start a romance. That's going to be really exciting.
I would watch that one for sure. We might actually watch that. We'll get to that in a minute, but we might actually watch that
Bridget
tonight.
Jones, bear fucker.
The Gorge is first, though, which I have not seen yet. You watched this one, though, didn't you?
I didn't get to it yet. It's on.
You didn't?
Okay. I hear mixed, although our frenemy Josh Bell says he likes it. So, there's that.
Yeah.
I do want to watch it. I just haven't had a chance to.
I've heard mixed things as well, though a lot of people have told me I need to watch it and that I would really like it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get to it soon.
Well, if they say you would really like it, that troubles me.
It's probably terrible. Yeah,
so.
Total trash. So Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boys up next, which, me and Gina might watch tonight, actually.
Yes, it's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
So what do I know?
Everyone's saying it's the dumbest thing in the world that they didn't release this in theaters, but
Right, that does seem stupid to me. I don't understand why they didn't do that. So, I mean, that's not only just a sequel, it's a sequel that has legs, right? So,
sure.
And, I mean, I get it. Eventually you want to do like a straight to video or streamer one, but this seems like it should have been in.
Yes, absolutely. Next up was The Monkey, which at the time we recorded the trailers episode, I wasn't going to do a live show on, but then ended up adding in as a last-minute addition to my schedule, and it was last night, and it was so much fun. I loved The Monkey. It's one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
Great. It's on Peacock right now too, right?
Is
that next week? So.
I don't know. Well, probably. Everything goes to streaming in like a week, but
once it's on there, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, I think. But it's very fun. Next up, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, actually got delayed like literally the day after we recorded our episode. It's coming out this month. It'll be a March movie now.
I saw it.
How did you see it?
I can't really just disclose the.
I can't wait to see it. So
it was not good, Dave. It was very disappointing. There was some decent comedy, but I don't understand why they made Porky and Daffy so annoying. You want to just murder and eat them. They're just so annoying, and it's a step down from what you would expect, or 3 steps down. A few good jokes, but that's about it. Also, the main bad guy is an alien, and they just created like this new alien for it, and it's like, why? You have Marvin the Martian in your catalog already. So
yeah, well, I'm gonna watch it. I hope I like it, but I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Last Breath, which I believe is still not out at the time of recording. Maybe it just came out today, but I think it's this coming week though, so haven't seen that yet, obviously. And The Legend of Oki, I don't know how you say it, but that's also not out. Yeah, I think that's next weekend. So we're a little before that, so we can get the episode out on time. So the last 2 things, of course, were the live shows that I did have planned, which was Heart Eyes and Captain America: Brave New World. I liked both of them. I really don't get the hate Captain America: Brave New World has gotten. It's a mid-tier Marvel movie. It's not great. I'm not going to go to bat for it, but it's not terrible.
Well, there's 2 reasons, right? One would be just we're over all this crap. Although it made a ton of money, right? Are they even trying? And 2, I wonder if the same people who hate this new Captain America are the same people who hated the halftime show and the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, that could be, but it seems like critics also.
Marvel sucks, dude. I'm just going to be honest. We have a preview with John Malkovich coming up, and I loved his quote this week. He's like, you want to hang me from a crane in front of a green screen? Pay me, because I'm happy doing plays, right? I agree. Like, Marvel, just take a break, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. They really need to. And Heart Eyes was a lot of fun from Josh Rubin. We did a live show on that. Did you see Heart Eyes?
I didn't.
No. Yeah, it was fun. It's almost slapsticky, almost spoofy, and it's a good time. It's different from what I expected.
Cool. So one thing we didn't mention last month that I'm really excited to watch is the Sly Lives, the Sly and the Family Stone documentary.
Okay.
That Questlove directed, which is on Hulu right now.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that, so for sure. Well, let's get to our March trailers list, and we got to start off with a bang with an Angel Studios movie.
Yeah.
Rule Breakers. This is about when Afghanistan got their first computers and the girls weren't allowed to use them, but then a select group of girls were allowed to, and they became big code breakers or so. I'm not sure exactly, but it's an inspirational story. I saw someone in the comments on YouTube say, Angel Studios, Hollywood's rule breakers, making a movie about another great rule breakers.
Yeah. Did you? That sounds right. Do you remember the Bill Burr joke when he was talking about uh, like, a lot of like white savior movies where they come in and like teach inner city black kids to do stuff, right? And
Mm,
he's like, what next? The swim team, and it was a funny joke. This is where we're at with Angel Studios. I feel like, I mean, in a way, it's fun for our trailer episodes because now we're doing this one. They had like a horror movie thing. Like, I think they made so much money on Sound of Freedom that they're just like, let's try everything.
yeah.
Which, as someone, I haven't seen any of the Angel Studios movies, but as someone who like, really misses like the heyday of independent, movie studios, like, hey, they're A24 Neon for Jesus, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I won't see this one either. I'll just put that out there, Dave. But I put down Real Steel because of the robot fighting. If
Oh my
anyone knows
God.
about robot fighting, it's me, Dave, as you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Argo, because there is that element of like, if we don't get him out of here, they're going to die type thing.
Hmm.
And then girls being good at things that girls aren't supposed to be good at.
Yeah.
Battle of the Sexes. Billie Jean King beats Bobby Riggs.
Okay.
Tennis.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That works. I went with Hidden Figures for my version of that. An unexpected team of women who are behind this whole science thing. They can't do science.
Where do these women get off learning and achieving things?
Yeah. And along similar lines, I put The Net, the Sandra Bullock movie from the 90s, where a woman is a hacker. Oh my God. That's
No,
crazy.
that can't happen.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm sure its intended audience will enjoy it, and we'll never see that movie. But
I don't think you're right. It's
Yeah,
not about white Christian men. It's about
that's
Afghani
true.
women. You really think they're going to be into that?
Did Angel Studios go woke? Is that what just happened this month?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, as we know, Pope criticizes Trump. Christians criticize Pope, not Trump. So where are we in the world? So
God. All right, let's move on to Night of the Zoopocalypse, which will be in theaters March 7th. This is an animated film with a kind of horror comedy vibe to it. It should have been a Halloween release, but it's not. I don't know. It looks kind of silly. It looks kind of second rate animation wise, though. What do you think about this?
I think it looks like it shoved its own movie head up its own movie ass and then
Mm.
shat itself out. And that's what we got right
Hey.
here. It looks terrible, dude. So
Okay.
it looks terrible in every way. Like the animation's not good. And the story, just come on, let's go. Better versions of this kind of animals and creatures coming alive at night. Well, I'm not even going to say better, but different versions of it. I have Night at the Museum, obviously. Madagascar, you can pick your different kind of animals need to work together type thing.
Sure.
And then there seems to be like an element of like, they're not supposed to be alive, but they are alive. Do you remember The Curse of Bridge Hollow, the Marlon Wayans Halloween movie?
No.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's like, hey, we moved to a small town and all the spooky googies come to life and all that stuff.
Lovely. That sounds great. Yeah, I was thinking of, I mean, it's obviously just a couple of months ago, but that Wallace and Gromit Were Rabbits movie.
I'm a happy little now, but I love to trim the hedge.
There you go. And I was just trying to think of what other spooky animated kids movies, Paranorman, Monsters vs. Aliens, anything in that kind of subgenre.
It definitely feels like, ooh, Five Nights at Freddy's did well. Quickly, make a movie.
There you go. Absolutely. Next up, I hate to keep on the negative train here, but next up is Novocaine, which will be in theaters March 14th. And I am so sick of this trailer. They show it every time I go to the movies. Jack Quaid stars as basically Deadpool in a movie that's not Deadpool, but it is Deadpool. He can't feel pain, and he gets himself into all kinds of action situations. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just ready for this one to go away.
Yeah, I had Deadpool on my list as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's the obvious thing.
Yeah,
here.
tonally, it seems like it's trying to split the difference between like a Deadpool and our weekly reference or our monthly reference to Nobody, right?
Sure.
And then he's like this, hero who has a weird thing that helps him be a hero, and so I put Born Identity. But yeah, this doesn't look good. Although Jack Quaid seems to be ascending up the leading man ranks right now.
Yeah, he's on fire, absolutely. Even though I'm the only person in the world who didn't love Companion, but we do have an episode on the way on it with Josh Bell, your awesome movie, your
My
co-host.
frenemy.
Your frenemy. I also put Kick-Ass on the list as another kind of meta referential, humor thing. I will say real quick, when we were at one of my last live shows and my dad was in the audience and the trailers were playing and it's in the dark and all that, and this trailer, as soon as it ended and the theater went pitch black, all you hear is my dad yell out, "Dave, you got to do a show on that one."
That's good.
So,
My favorite moment of your dad being on the live episodes is the last one we did, and was it KL who was the guest?
Casey Kristen.
And so a black filmmaker, and he says he watches just about everything, and your dad yells, "Did you see the new Jamie Foxx movie?"
Oh God, I can't take him anywhere, seriously. Next up is Black Bag, which will be in theaters March 14th. This is our second Steven Soderbergh film of the year. This one stars Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, also Pierce Brosnan, another David Cope script, and who also had written Presence earlier this year. And this is about a spy who is asked to go after his wife, and he has to choose between his loyalties, between the country and the wife, and it looks good.
Yeah, the setup is basic, where you're like, this is either going to be good or bad, like nothing in between. And then you see directed by Steven Soderbergh, and you're like, let's fucking go.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. This one I am excited for. It's Soderbergh, and those two leads. The thing I was thinking is like Cate Blanchett, when she's doing like Tar or kind of these offbeat movies, like they're great, but when she always tries to go mainstream action, it never really works. So hopefully this one's a little more offbeat. Obviously, pick your fun spy couple movies, True Lives, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Michael Fassbender just played an assassin in The Killer, so I thought that was. And then this idea of having to choose between love or professional duty. Christopher and Adriana in The Sopranos.
Thank you for the impression there. Yeah, I'm on the same page here. Mr. and Mrs. Smith and The Killer are what I put down as well. But yeah, I mean, the tone of it just feels like exactly in line with that stuff. And like you said, I mean, Steven Soderbergh, it's probably going to be elevated beyond just that simple premise that we've seen a lot of times before. So.
And I think, dude, Delimey, Haywire, I like Soderbergh's kind of grindhousey action movies. So I mean, this one looks bigger budget, but I mean, I'm in it to win it, baby. Let's get it.
Next up, The Electric State, which will be on Netflix on March 14th. This is the latest Russo brothers kind of blank check Netflix project where they get to do anything they want to do. It stars Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic action comedy type thing, and Jason, again, I don't want to keep being negative on this episode, but this looks like the worst movie I've ever seen.
So I was like, I'm glad this came back to back with The Black Bag, because I saw, directed by Steven Soderbergh. I'm like, oh yeah. And then this one, I'm like, we'll see. And then it said directed by the Russo brothers. I'm like, oh no.
No.
That's, yeah. So these robots, they have to live in a secluded area because they've been separated from the humans because whatever, humanity doesn't trust them. And then maybe Millie Bobby Brown's brother or something, who, by the way, is the #1 Netflix star, I think, right? All of her movies crush on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
They have to go and get her out. Chris Pratt never makes good movies. The Super Mario Brothers, sure, that's fine. I, Robot, The Island, the Lost, the TV show Lost. Hey, we have to go to this kind of. And then Mad Max. So.
Yeah. I was thinking Mad Max as well. I was also thinking The Mitchells versus the Machines, as far as a goofy, silly robot invasion kind of movie. And then Y2K from December. It's obviously too new, but definitely a similar vibe of very goofily designed robots. So that's a much smaller scale. It's not a giant invasion, but Yeah, we'll see on that one, but they just do not have the best track record. But next up, we've got Opus. This is the movie you had hinted at with John Malkovich. This is going to be in theaters March 14th. I'm not sure if it's a limited release or if it's in wide release on that date, but this is from A24. It's Ayo Adibri stars as a journalist who's given a chance to go to a pop star's reclusive estate to hear his new album or something, his new project of some sort. And John Malkovich is the aging pop star, and it looks very much in line with the A24, getaway kind of cliche, but it also looks really fun.
It's the menu for music, right?
Sure, yeah.
So the menu is the first one we're going with. I just mentioned Tar, that kind of cult of personality, right? Mm-hmm. So there you got that. My favorite, which we haven't really discussed, but I think super like maybe hidden gem. It was such a great movie. The idea of like that celebrity cult, Bowfinger, one of the all-time greats. And then you got Juliette Lewis in here, and I think that tracks because of the Yellow Jackets type cult. A lot of TV references today, Dave.
Hey, if they fit, then let's go for it. You had the menu. I'll also put Blink Twice as a similar version of that kind of thing. And then I also went with getting into real life for a minute. Jared Leto's actual retreats of music and yoga that all the pictures look like it's some kind of cult. I think that was probably an influence here.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
They're all in white, and he looks like Jesus in the middle of it all. And yeah,
why hasn't there been like I was singing Wild Wild Country, that great doc series. Why haven't we done one on Jared Leto's music retreats?
He gets to do whatever he wants. He's Jared Leto. I don't know. One day maybe. So next up is Snow White, which will be in theaters March 21st.
The monthly fuck you from Disney.
I'll say I don't think this looks terrible. It looks par for the course of these movies.
I'll give you that it doesn't look as bad as the last few. Yeah. But guys, we have to stop going into movies to seeing these, so they'll stop making them. Please stop doing this.
But people just keep going.
It's probably going to be terrible, right? So the best one of these, which I don't even know if it counts, but and maybe it's their fault that this all started, was the Beauty and the Beast remake with Emma, Hermione Granger right there, Emma Watson. So that was a good one. I like that one. Obviously, Maleficent. And Dave, let's bring it back to something you had us discussed in an earlier trailers episode, DeSanders. Remember we did Rise of Red? There's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
This definitely feels like a DeSanders movie.
All right. Yeah, I had Maleficent on mine as well. I also had that really fun Dungeons and Dragons movie from a couple of years ago, which is kind of the best case scenario for something like this. But yeah, I don't know. It could be all right. It's weird how little buzz this movie has, considering it's such a beloved, property. You'd think at least the people who keep showing up for these would be talking about it, but I don't know. I feel like,
and don't forget, Dave, Snow White. Not white. So get ready, all you halftime show haters.
Oh boy. Yeah. By the way, speaking of these live action remakes, do you know that Mufasa just keeps making more and more money?
That's not good for us. It's not good for Barry Jenkins fans who want to see him just do good stuff. But
didn't have the best opening in the world, but it has had insane legs and it just keeps making more money. So
yeah. Great. Great. That's really exciting.
Wonderful.
So, did you see that one?
Yes, I did. It's not good. Yeah. Not good at all. Do you know that we see the origin of Pride Rock?
Really?
Yeah. Were you in need of that, Jason?
No, but I would be a fan if they said we didn't land on Pride Rock. Pride Rock landed on us. That would have been worth it for me.
Next up is the Alto Knights, which will be in theaters also March 21st. This, I believe, was long delayed. I think this was supposed to be out like over a year ago or something. The Barry Levinson project with Robert De Niro playing 2 gangsters who are out to get each other. It looks pretty fun.
I want to see it. I mean, come on. It's been a lot. I mean, first of all, De Niro looking spry in his 80s, I think, right? It's cool that he's playing both these guys. I mean, Levinson hasn't had a theatrical release in quite some time, I don't think. So, yeah, I'm ready for it. I mean, they meet at this, restaurant where they, talk, they tell each other how it's got to be. That's right out of Heat right there,
Yep.
There was the season of Fargo with like the Italian mafia. That was the Kansas City season 4, and kind of all their rules, I thought. And, hey, they steal from us, we're going to steal from them. De Niro doing the Army Hammer here in The Social Network, playing multiple characters. And this idea of like, who's a bad guy, who's a good guy, we're going to kill everyone, Mystic River.
Okay, all right. I didn't get that one, but that's an interesting pull there. I went with Legend, the Tom Hardy movie where he plays twin gangsters. They're not out to get each other necessarily, but they're certainly at odds. And then I went with Austin Powers because Mike Myers is both the hero and the antagonist in all of those.
That's a good one. That's fun.
Yeah, all with silly voices, so that's always fun to see. But yeah, I'm definitely hopeful for this movie. Definitely looking forward to it.
Tell you what, I'm not hopeful for the next movie you're going to mention. Man, this looks bad, dude.
Yeah, it does.
But it's won a ton of audience awards at film festivals. So what do I know?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. But Bob Trevino Likes It. It'll be in theaters March 21st. Yeah, this was a big one at South by Southwest last year, and it's now finally coming out. Based on a true story. Inspirational thing about this woman whose dad was a mess, so she cut him off. But
no, I think he cuts her off.
Oh, what was it? I thought it was the other way around. But okay, yeah. And then she wants to reconnect and ends up finding this other guy with her dad's name,
on Facebook.
Yeah, and ends up just becoming friends with this older guy played by John Leguizamo.
Yeah, so this is where it lost me. In the first scene of the trailer, the dad's like, "I've itemized everything that I paid for when you were growing up." Like, and she was like, "You itemized baby food? Like, come on, dude, that's never going to happen. No dad's going to be like, I got you a bottle and a crib. You have to pay me back for it." So like, it just lost me right there. If you want to see better movies about odd friendships, I mean, maybe better movies, I can't say, but this one looks bad. But, I went right to Up, and then I went right to Lost in Translation, and I'll stick with those two.
Yeah, Lost in Translation was the first one I thought of as well. And I was also thinking, I mean, this may be way off base here, but I was thinking of a kind of reverse Catfish situation. I mean, obviously...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no sexual thing going on here, but like just the idea of the opposite person is kind of doing the misrepresentation in a way. So
I don't think anyone's being misrepresented. I mean, they talk and they meet.
So, yeah,
but yeah. I know what you're saying as far as like you're looking for someone and it turns out to be someone else.
It's a different thing, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it did really well at festivals, so maybe it's something. But we will see. Next up is Magazine Dreams, which will be out also March 21st in theaters. This is the Jonathan Majors film that was going to be a big Oscar hopeful like 2 years ago and then got shelved because of his assault trial. And now I guess they're putting it out. And it got raves back then.
Yeah,
I mean,
huge festival.
Yeah.
Soon Sundance, I think.
Supposed to be great. And I really loved Jonathan Majors at the time. And so I was really looking forward to it. But it's about a bodybuilder who's just driving himself and everyone around him crazy in his like quest for perfection, basically.
Is Jonathan Majors is he back or is this a one-off or what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that they're really trying, like he's really trying to get a comeback, but this I think really is just a coincidence that they just finally have a spot to put it out. Like
it's interesting because no one was, I mean, a great actor, right? So no one was rising higher and faster than he was, it seemed like. So, I mean, we're talking about the art here as opposed to the artist's personal life, right? So yeah. I mean, look, you just kind of said it. It's the wrestler for bodybuilding, right? Someone who's self-obsessed. If you want bodybuilding for bodybuilding, you could go to Love Lies Bleeding or an awesome movie, your favorite, Pumping Iron. Highly recommend. The other one I put down was someone who's singularly obsessed with their profession. I like movies like that. Whiplash.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Whiplash would be a really good one to include on here. Yeah, I put the wrestler / Black Swan. Like they both fit into that same kind of idea. And then I also put Pumping Iron because it is exactly the perfect puzzle piece for this movie. So,
Louis, you're coming to do a competition.
It's so good, that movie. Let's go to The Woman in the Yard, which will be in theaters March 28th. This is a Blumhouse horror film about a woman who appears in the yard.
Whoa. Wow. How did you honestly, that's really all you get because it's like a 1 minute trailer, right? So
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
get anything else.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're fun. These movies are fun and scary, right? So we'll see
Yeah.
what's up. Okay, my picks were The Woman in Black.
Yep.
She doesn't appear in the yard, but she appears.
Uh-huh.
And I think I've mentioned it on here before. There's a great podcast called Spooked about people who have experienced supernatural or paranormal things. And there's a lot of episodes where it's like, I ran here or I stayed in this room and this figure appeared out of nowhere type thing.
Hmm.
But Spooked for that type of podcast is really great the way they tell stories.
Yeah,
Put them
yeah.
together. Yeah.
I mean, people love this stuff. So, I mean, I'm sure, the people that show up to all of these will end up really enjoying it. And it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. But yeah, The Woman in Black was the first thing I thought of as well. And then also, I mean, it's an obvious thing, but The Conjuring, I think it was the first one. It might have been the second. There was like a tree out in the yard, and anytime they looked through a window at that tree, they'd see something happening by the tree. But
Ooh, Tree in the Yard. That's a
yeah,
new one.
we could call it The Tree in the Yard. So yeah, it just reminded me of that whole sequence. So yeah, I'm sure I'll end up seeing it because Gina loves all these movies. So next up, our last one for the month is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip, which will be on Disney Plus March 28th. I'm pretty sure this is like a beloved kids book, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the best thing about this is Zachary Levi is not in this.
thank God.
You would expect him to be in this, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got Jennifer Garner. We're checking off the boxes on,
Yeah.
kids movie, kids book, adaptations, parents type thing, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh God.
I mean, you could start there with Yes Day. There's a special day that brings the family closer together, right?
Mhm.
What do you want? Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, or Diary of a Wimpy Kid, whatever you want. And then Steve Carell has to take the baby to work, Mr. Mom, Freaky Friday. You get the idea. Let's go.
Right on, right on. I went with Vacation, specifically the Ed Helms one from 2015.
Oh, the beloved one.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that everyone remembers.
Yeah, it's got that tone. Although you could, of course, put the National Lampoon, the real one, as well. And then, speaking of poorly received vacation movies, RV with Robin Williams. As far as just very just silly, goofy, broad road trip comedies.
What's your favorite of the? Is We're the Millers the last good family kind of road trip movie?
Very possibly, yeah. I'd have to think about that. Because that was pretty good. So.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that, see if there's a better one. But yeah, that's our list. We do have 2 live shows coming up. Well, one at the time of recording is set, and that is Mickey 17, which will be at Downtown Cinemas March 8th. This is Bong Joon-ho's off-delayed follow-up to Parasite.
They blew it, right?
I don't understand it. It's very strange because, by all accounts, it's really good.
Everyone says it's good. Everyone says it. I mean, Bong Joon-ho, Oscar winner, right? I mean, Robert Pattinson, it looks cool. It looks weird. You got your 2001, and you got your Time Loopy or Edge of Tomorrow or Groundhog Day. You can keep dying and coming back. I don't understand, man. This should have been released in October or November. Just like Challengers. They really fucking blew it with that.
Sure. Yeah, they totally did. But yeah, I can't wait, though. It's going to be so much fun, that show. And then not exactly guaranteed at this point, but we've been talking about it, and I think it's going to happen. A Working Man, the new Jason Statham and David Ayers. Jason is so excited. He's going to be on my panel for that one. And I just love that they said, well, we're not quite ready to make The Beekeeper 2, so let's just make a different movie, and it's still The Beekeeper 2.
It's again, we've already referenced Nobody, but this one is Taken, and also Rolling Thunder, which I don't think you've seen, the 1977 Grindhouse movie with William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones, where he's got to go out for revenge. Dave, have you seen this guy on Instagram who always does his thing is every Jason Statham movie ever?
No.
It's very good. I'm a working man. I used to be a mechanic. I'm a working man. No, I'm a beekeeper. Do you know who I am? I'm I'm a transporter. Do you know? Oh, I have a pass. You don't want to know about that. I'm a working man. It's really good. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that for sure. But yeah, that movie is gonna rule. So yeah, a couple of great live shows to look forward to, and yeah, that's our March. So Jason, is there a movie you watched recently you want to recommend to our listeners?
Well, I'll point out something that I think probably hasn't been seen by many people. I was at a panel for the Nevada Film Office, and there was a producer on there, Ron Ray, who produced this movie called Trees of Peace, and it's on Netflix. And it's a movie that they used. It was like a first-time director who wrote it, and all the actors are non-union, but they're all great. And it's a hard movie to watch. There's no levity, but it's really well made. It's a good movie. It's about women who had to hide in a room under the floor in Rwanda in a house for like 81 days to escape the genocide going on there.
Mm. Yeah,
real fun stuff.
Sounds very heavy.
It is very heavy, but I was impressed by the way they were able to utilize the setting, and the performers are good. And if you don't like that, We Beat the Dream Team's a pretty fun sports documentary on Max right now.
Was that one though that you just mentioned? Was that a Nevada filmmaker?
I think just the producer.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, right on. Jason, what is going on with you? What's going on with Awesome Movie Year?
Okay, Dave. Awesome Movie Year. We're in 1941. Got off to a real rocky start with Sergeant York. But hey, next episode at the time of recording is the Maltese Falcon. So we're back on track, baby.
All right.
So we're excited. 1941, a lot of people regard it as the best year of film ever. So we'll see where we come down on that. The trivia nights, you got to come play. We do so many movie questions. We have Tuesday at Jive Turkey in the Arts District. We have Wednesday at Rebellion Pizza in Anthem. And Dave, no more excuses for you to not come see comedy. As of March 2nd, my residency at Jimmy Kimmel's goes from every other week at Thursday at 11:30 to every week, Sunday, 6 p.m.
Ooh, very nice. I love it. But also, Q is going to be in town. Q from here at the All Points West Network. He's actually going to be on my Mickey 17 show. And we're going to come to either your Tuesday or Wednesday night. That is, it's on the record right now. It's going to happen. So,
all right. Yeah. I think you guys might be a Tuesday crowd for you, I think.
Okay, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But we will see you there, Jason.
What about you? You got a movie rec for me this month or what?
Do I have a movie rec for you this month? What the hell have I been watching? I feel like I haven't been watching anything lately. I mean, I went to the Beverly to watch Wild at Heart the other day, and it's right now, I would be surprised if anything beats it for my top 10 first-time watches.
I love that.
Yeah, love that. So good.
If you guys don't listen to Awesome Movie Year, we did cover Ernest Goes to Camp, and Dave watched all 10 Ernest movies, so he's the MVP of the season. Yeah. You win that award.
Thank you, Jason. Well, that is it for today. But Jason, thanks as always for being here. We'll get you back again soon. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that conversation about some March 2025 trailers. Thank you to Jason Harris for joining me on that one. And thank you to all of you for listening. If you're enjoying piecing it together, make sure you are subscribed. We got a lot of episodes on the way. Got some special stuff, some more live shows, a bunch of regular episodes that have been just waiting to get released. And of course, we will be recording a lot more in the coming weeks. So make sure you are subscribed wherever you're listening right now. You can also follow us on social media at Piecing Pod. Join the Facebook group Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces, where we continue the conversation about all the movies we talk about here on the show. And don't forget, we do have a Patreon, the Produced by David Rosen Patreon, where I post bonus and advanced content from Piecing It Together, from Awesome Movie Year, and from my music career. Hey, it's the beginning of a new year of piecing it together. So if you've been thinking about signing up for the Patreon, support the show, why not start with this whole new year of piecing it together? We got a lot planned, and you'll get a bonus access to all kinds of cool stuff. So you can find that at patreon.com/bydavidrosen. I'll also mention another way to support the show. We have a Dashery store, dashery.piecingittogether.com, where you can find all of our shirts, a bunch of other apparel, the stuff with the main logos of piecing it together, but also some various like random movie related stuff that I put together and stuff from my music as well. So you can check that out. Maybe buy a shirt or sweatshirt or hoodie or any kind of thing that's available on that store. And yeah, but of course, I also just appreciate you all just being out there listening. Send in some puzzle pieces. It's always fun to have some of those to read on these trailer episodes. And yeah, with that said, let's close this out with a piece of music like I always do. And let's see. You know what? On the Monkey episode last week, I played a preview of the next The Pup Pups album with a song called Don't Be a Monkey. And this month, March 2025, I will probably be announcing the pre-order for the new The Pup Pups album. That's right, we just put one out in December, but it's already time for another one. So why not play another preview of another song from The Pup Pups? So what should I play though? That's the question. I'm gonna go with a song called Covered in Dust. This is a song about how all of the toys that we buy our cats eventually just end up covered in dust. So hope you enjoy it. We'll be back with more piecing it together real soon.
Oh, well, she's playing with the box. The toy can kick rocks, and now that toy is covered in dust. It was her Christmas gift, it was on her list, but now that toy is covered in dust. Oh la 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 la, now it's covered in dust. Oh la 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 la, now it's covered in dust. I thought that toy was so cool, but now I guess that I'm the fool, because now it's covered in dust. It was one of a kind, but I guess now it's just mine, because now it's covered in dust. Oh la 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 la, now it's covered in dust. Oh la 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 la, now it's covered in dust. Oh la 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 la, dust. La 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 la, dust. Dust. Covered in dust. Dust. Covered in dust.
An All Points West production, produced by David Rosen in Las Vegas.